Are you familiar with the ZX lineup from Srixon? Let us know in the comments if you've hit Srixon irons in the past or even hollow body irons in the past, what your preference is and why you lean towards those. I think it's important to talk a little bit about the design features of ZX4. It's definitely an interesting take from Srixon's perspective, but their technology they have in place is not anything that is brand new. They've been working hard on it, especially over on the Cleveland side of things with great products like UHX. And as we continue into the new style lineups, you'll see more improvements there. What I love about ZX4 is this is about adding technology and performance to a player's style iron lineup. This includes their very awesome mainframe technology, creating better tolerances around the face as you miss, not that any of us do. It also has their Tour VT sole. V-sole has been a thing that I've loved for a very long time. And if you see it and you're not familiar with it, it actually is a pointed area that runs from the front to the back of the iron head. That more or less means you get the sole contact when you need it, not when you don't. A little bit different this time around is they have notches out in the heel and toe, so that little added versatility there is obviously going to play a little bit of a supporting role more than anything else. I think at this point we'll head into the hitting bay, hit some shots with them. I'm very excited. I think these will perform extremely well. My biggest issue with hollow body irons is the sound profile. If they don't sound great or they can't align with the rest of my clubs, I'm very unlikely to put them in the bag. Again, in the comment section, let me know if you feel the same way. If you're a person who goes out and wants to play with a little bit of added performance and forgiveness, but you're looking for a certain sound profile, is that one of the most critical elements when you look at a style of iron of this shape and design? Let's go in the hitting bay, hit some shots, and talk through them. And here we are in the hitting bay with Srixon's ZX4 irons. We got a little ahead of ourselves this time. I was warming up, kind of getting blown away by the numbers. This is the exciting part for me as a golfer coming and trying all these different products. You see something you don't expect, and you immediately rush to share it with everyone, and that's what we're doing today with you. I have 2 shots already in the data. That's unusual for us, but they're so good, I want to leave them in there. We are going to hit a few more. I may disable one, we'll see what happens, but let's kick it right into what I will call the 3rd shot. This is a 7 iron. We are paired up with Nippon's 950 Neo, great new product. As you can see, you can't see it's not my best strike. However, the carry here is significant. What Srixon has done with their ZX lineup is added a club for the golfer who's looking for a little bit of help between launch, between MOI performance, forgiveness, and I think they absolutely nailed it. So I have so much to say. I'm actually running out of breath a little bit. So let's hit another one and then talk a bit more. The other thing I wanted to talk about straight out of the gate is sound. I know it's a challenge for companies to create a hollow body profile that sounds good. And when I mean good, I mean it sounds like you want a club to sound like. What's interesting with Srixon, I've hit probably 10 or 12 balls. They sound really, really good on contact. What I noticed was if I take it down by my feet and click it, the ball against my shoe, you hear a little bit of what you expect to hear on a club that's designed like this. However, when I go to make contact, it's just not there. It's different. It's better. And I'm just going at it as freely and as aggressively as I want to. It's kind of blowing me away how tight we are. At about 195 yards of carry, I'm almost holing out with freedom with a 7 iron. I always kind of leaned more into that player style iron. When I'm looking into my longer irons, I cannot imagine why ZX4 wouldn't be a consideration for me. I'm gonna hit one more here, and then we'll go to the table view and talk more about what we're seeing from a down the range perspective. Just incredibly consistent for an iron of this style. I'm almost holing out freely from 190 yards. V-sole is not playing a role here in the Tech Studio. It will absolutely support your game once you get onto that turf. I love it. They've changed it a little bit. It's a new stylization on it where it's not as present on the heel and toe, but it absolutely performs when you're making contact. Let's head over to table view and talk more about my experiences here in the hitting bay with Srixon's ZX4 irons. Here we are in table view, and I think this gives you an opportunity to understand why I'm so excited about this product. I've been leaning hard on standard deviation lately when we have conversations about the data as a result. And I'm doing that because I want to see the performance overall in irons that aren't exactly designed purely for controlled performance. This is about supporting the golfer moving around the face, and while I might not be adding to that a little bit because I'm making good contact, I think this representation is a great view of how tight the tolerances can be for those golfers who are looking for more forgiveness but don't want to give away this that sort of feeling that they have full control over their golf swing. This aligns here with ball speed, super tight. Despite being an average carry of 194 yards, we have a ball speed tolerance of 0.6. So hardly anything at all. Backspin in the same way, 278 RPMs of difference. That is very small when you're talking about carrying the ball over 190 yards. I really like the peak here. Obviously, I didn't fit myself into the shaft. It's what is a standard offering for ZX4 from Srixon. So I would imagine I could tighten up my peak a little bit if I really wanted to. But between the spin numbers and the peak, it's actually a really good setup. As mentioned in the backspin, 5,600 or 5,400 RPMs of spin on average, I think is very good for me with a 7 iron. I'm looking from this style of iron to be more of that launching, landing soft kind of profile, and with descent angles being what they are with of over 50 degrees, I'm really not worried about spin personally for my game, but I am a low spin guy, so I would imagine if you go out there and hit them for yourselves, you'll see a little bit of a different number there. I really just can't say enough good things about ZX4. They sound great, they have great design elements in them, and they are a wonderful complement to the rest of the ZX line because you have this iron that sounds similar, that performs very well. I think even those guys out there who are playing maybe the more player style irons should definitely take a look at this iron in their longer iron setup, because it's going to allow that pure, consistent, absolute performance. Go and hit them for yourselves. Let us know in the comment section what you think of them, and we'll see you next time.